Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bill Jameson, and once again, I'm happy to say that I'm joined by my First Lady of the Belmar Parade, Mary Riley. And Mary, it's time for us to be out here again on Main Street in Belmar for the St. Patrick's Day Parade that is always a big event for Belmar and a big event for the entire state. And this year, it looks like we're going to have another wonderful and well-attended parade. And who can we look forward to seeing this year?
Well, as you know, Bill, every year the parade gets bigger and bigger. We have over 250 marching units. And the two people that are leading our parade this year are very fine examples of Irish-American citizenship. Our Grand Marshal is Larry Cody of Spring Lake, who is president of PSE&G. Our Deputy Grand Marshal is Margaret Cahill O'Neill of Hazlitt. She was the very first woman president of the Irish Federation of Monmouth County. Once again, Bill, we're going to start the parade with what is now a tradition for us. We're going to salute the hundreds of volunteers that take care of us day in and day out. It's going to be the fire trucks, first aid equipment of the surrounding towns, and I think everyone will enjoy that.
It was a big hit last year, and I know that we'll be anxious to see that. It's always a thrill for the kids. And I want to say something personal here. You know, for me, this is the most exciting point of the parade. Right before we see our first marchers, and the crowd is building, and Belmar, Main Street in Belmar is just lined with people, and the anticipation of this year's parade, it always just wells up in the crowd, and I feel pretty excited about being here. So this is my most exciting moment.
Well, cade me a fólte, Bill, and enjoy the day in this beautiful sea of green.
All right, I'm glad you said it, as Main Street in Belmar is about to turn into a sea of green as the 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade is just about to begin.
Go shopping in Ireland. Visit the Irish Centre on 3rd Avenue in Spring Lake. You'll find a stunning collection of Waterford crystal, a great gift idea for any occasion. Plus, a terrific selection of Belique china, uniquely Irish in strength and delicacy, a gift unmatched anywhere. For friends and loved ones, famous Claddagh jewelry designs and traditional Irish brooches are special reminders of your affection. And what could be more warmly received than Irish knit sweaters? For everything Irish, go shopping in Ireland at the Irish Centre on 3rd Avenue in Spring Lake.
Get into the swing of things at RKE Athletics' brand new state-of-the-art indoor video batting cages. Perfect your hitting skills facing our lifelike pitchers. For little leaguers and pros alike, slow and fast-pitch softballers, there's no comparison. RKE also offers hourly rentals for teams and birthday parties with video games too. Stop in today for the ultimate hitting experience.
RKE's the place to be.
RKE Video Batting Cages, corner of 16th Avenue and Highway 71 Belmar.
You may not realize that your local cable company creates jobs, pays taxes, and contributes to educational programs in New Jersey. And did you know that during the past decade, the cable industry has donated more than $5.5 billion nationwide to local charities, nonprofit organizations, and educational institutions? Cable TV, an important part of life in New Jersey.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Bill Jameson, and once again, this is Mary Riley, who's joined me for the 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. Mary, we're in our customary position on top of Don's Pizza King here at 9th Avenue and Main Street in Belmar, and we're as excited as can be to watch the beginning of this year's parade. As usual, the parade will start off with an honor guard, Mary, which will involve the fire engines and the service units that are part of the first aid squads from the various communities.
I think the honor guard sets the tone for the day, Bill. It's lively. All the equipment is here, spit and polished. The kids get all excited by the sirens and the amounts of kids that are on the trucks. And we're going to have a good day. And the wind is at our back, which is a very good sign.
We were always concerned about the weather out here. We're under absolutely nothing but the good sky to protect us. And it's a bit gray today, but it hasn't dampened the spirits. Everyone is out here. We had a lot of rain earlier in the part of the weekend, but this is just great. We're ready for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Many people out here of all ages and sizes wearing their green and ready to watch the 19th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. There's, as usual, a crowd as big as you can want and as far as you can see. I stood just before we began our open a few minutes ago right in the middle of Main Street on the green line that is painted with the official green paint for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And I looked down south as far as I could possibly see, and there was nothing but people. There was nothing but people on both sides of the street out here for hours, actually, before the parade began.
They estimated the crowd last year at 100,000, and I'd say we have topped that this year. The sun is trying to get through the clouds, and it was sunny this morning, and that's what brings out the crowds. They're a little concerned about the weather for the young children.
And speaking of the crowd, Bob Lampinen, our TV-34 Mr. Everything, is going to be with us today, and he'll be speaking with some of the parade dignitaries on the podium here on 9th Avenue and Main Street, and also he'll be out bouncing among the revelers along Main Street, part of the parade excitement, and also up on floats and fire engines, and joining us with some comments throughout today's parade coverage.
There's a great deal of organization and cooperation put into this line of march. They are up to 2 hours before down at Lake Como, getting into formation, and they are almost perfectly straddling that yellow line, coming onto the green. Military precision.
There's our first entrance in today's parade. The chief from the Belmar Fire Department has arrived. The first fire engines, as usual. Belmar, the host of the parade for these past 19 years, has led the entourage down Main Street, the 1 mile from Lake Como here to 9th Avenue and Main Street in Belmar. And they've been greeted by people all along Main Street. This mile route, people clapping, cheering, enjoying the parade. A lot of folks enjoying the ride along Main Street as part of the parade. We're going to go down to our PA announcers and get some opening comments from George McCormick and those who are with him on the podium.
Belmar's ladder truck from Volunteer Hook and Ladder, 110-foot ladder. Assistant Chief Joe Rizzatello's driving it. Another piece from Hook and Ladder, their light truck. Supplies all the lights and fans for the Fire Department. Next, we have a pumper from Spring Lake.
The Belmar Fire Department was introduced, and he's going to act as the master of ceremony for our cortege of honor, introducing each of the individual fire departments and first aids.
This is the color guard from Bradley Beach now passing the reviewing stand. Bradley Beach Fire Department and Rescue Unit. And again, this draws in our younger audience because they love the fire engines, they like the sirens and the flashing lights. And they come down to Main Street to see this. Gets them excited about the beginning of the parade. Of course, we're going to have our honor guard, our deputy grand marshals, our grand marshal. We're going to have the marchers. We're going to have several pipe bands, some marching bands, and almost 100 entrants are part of this year's parade.
The use of the volunteers as the beginning of the parade would actually be something that started in 1792 with the very first parade that George Washington led. At that time, it was the people of Irish background that were fighting in the Revolutionary forces. So the parade has always started with uniformed men in the service of their country, and in these particular cases, in the service of their communities.
And of course, we're happy to have our uniformed men and women as a part of this year's parade. This is my 12th year being a part of the telecast of Monmouth Cable's coverage of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and it's been quite an experience. The parade has grown. over the years, and our coverage has also grown. But it's always a big community event to be out here covering.
It's a big community event that takes the cooperation of so many people, so many volunteers, and actually every year the parade grows, but the cooperation grows as well.
Well, as I said earlier, Bob Lampinen is standing by, and let's go down to him right now.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, and of course the happiest of St. Patrick's Day to all of our viewers. It's a great, great day right here. We've just come down about a mile away, and we're with the United Fire Company, Neptune City, the City Boys. Assistant Chief Bobby Reynolds, and Bobby, that's my favorite 1 mile ride.
Yes, we're having a good time out here. All the fire companies enjoy coming out every year. We got a lot of candy donated to us. We like throwing it to the kids and everything. We come out having a good time. That's right.
The enthusiasm has just been wonderful. We're looking forward to a terrific day. It's St. Patrick's Day in Belmar. We're having a great time, and right now let's go back to Bill and Mary. And Bill and Mary, have a great one.
Well, you too, Bob. Sounds like Bob's having a good time as usual. He's with Bobby Reynolds, the Assistant Fire Chief of the Neptune Fire Department. And Bob got to ride in this year's parade atop, looks like United Fire Company engine number 23. And he gets a bird's eye view of the parade as he comes down Main Street from Lake Como. As far as the eye can see, people lining both sides of Main Street, probably 10, 12 deep. Candy being tossed to the crowd by some of the firemen and first aid squads. Once again, we want to mention that we're going to be going at the beginning, the official beginning of the parade, to our parade president, George McCormick, who will be on the podium as usual for this event, and he'll be narrating over the PA system for the crowd here who are gathered around here at Belmar Plaza so they can hear what's going on.
The festivities for today's parade actually began yesterday, Bill, at the Investiture Mass. This is now a tradition for the Belmar Parade, and as we honor St. Patrick, we begin our festivities at a Mass. Bishop Kimmick then blesses our selection of Grand Marshal and Deputy Grand Marshal, blesses their sashes. It's a wonderful morning. The homilist yesterday morning was Father Patrick Fitzpatrick, who is a friend of Margaret O'Neill, our Deputy Grand Marshal. And his talk was very interesting. He actually quoted Pope John Paul from his visit to Ireland. And the Polish Pope took time to say that it was the Irish missionaries and monks who converted most of Europe. And he feels that his faith was grounded in the monks, the Irish monks that were in Krakow in Germany, in Poland. So it's an interesting background, and the Irish are praised for their indomitable spirit in spreading the Catholic faith. He talked about our selection of Larry Cody and Margaret O'Neill, and what they represented as fine family people, as well as outstanding members of the community. And he talked about the days today where family life is meeting challenges. And he asked for everyone to remember that Irish spirit and to continue with the values that have lasted for the last 300 years of Irish immigration in America and the strengths that it's shown. So it was a beautiful day and a beautiful Mass. We then had a communion breakfast at Mike Doolin's in Spring Lake Heights, where the Grand Marshal and the Deputy Grand Marshal said a few words to us in their anticipation of today and how their families were looking forward to joining them.
Well, it looks like the parade is going to live up to their excitement and anticipation. We saw Smokey the Bear there just a moment ago while you were speaking, riding atop of the Glendola Fire Company. The Wall Fire Company came by, and the Wall First Aid and Rescue Squad is passing by now. We continue to look down south down Main Street in Belmar as just the beginning. The Honor Guard portion of today's parade is approaching us here. And Mary, you also mentioned Bishop Kimmick and celebrating the Mass. There's a tradition, I understand, where the bishop takes off his traditional skull cap, white skull cap, during the homily and wears something else. Could you tell us about that?
That's right. I believe it's a Geppetto, but I'm not sure. But it was a red one, and he takes that off and he puts on a green one. And we've begun to look so forward to his doing that we started to clap this year. So he got a standing ovation when he made the switch. He then says his name is Bishop O'Kimmick, and once again thanks us for asking him. He's a very wonderful man, and talks again about his own background and the fact that when he was a young student, he received a scholarship from the Ancient Order of Hibernians in Trenton, so that he feels, even though he is Polish, that he can give a great deal of credit to the Irish for his education and his vocation. So he always, there's a very warm spot in all of our hearts for Bishop Kimmick, and we would be very disappointed if he did not or was unable to attend. Monsignor Smith, who is the host, also said a few words, but of course he finishes the Mass with a beautiful rendition of Danny Boy. So during this Mass, it's just a very, very thrilling hour, and we enjoy ourselves.
Sounds interesting. I know you said he changed caps. Today you would think the only people that get a standing ovation when they change a hat would be a baseball player.
Probably.
But it's nice to know that the bishop did so at the investiture Mass yesterday. This again is the beginning of the 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. This is all part of the Honor Guard contingent.
This year, the parade committee has acquired a new banner depicting St. Patrick. And it says the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, established 1973. This was completely hand-embroidered in Ireland and arrived Tuesday. So it is 8 feet high and 4 feet wide, and we are going to have two very big strapping men carrying that banner down the street today. But Bishop Kimmick also blessed that yesterday, and it was a moving moment.
Now you meant we're going to see that later on during the parade.
We're going to see that later on. It should be one of the very first sections of the parade.
Okay, you mentioned earlier that the bishop blesses the sashes of the Grand Marshal and the Deputy Grand Marshal. I'm going to hold up for just a second. I don't feel... Well, I know I'm going to be up here for a while, Mary, so I didn't want to compete with the buzzers and whistles and the horns and sirens of the fire departments that were passing by. But, so we let them go and have their say. Maybe I'll get a word in now. You were mentioning about the blessing of the sash for the Grand Marshal and the Deputy Grand Marshal at the Mass yesterday. And I know that you're wearing your sash from when you were the Deputy Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Is it a tradition to wear it every year on this occasion? Do you ever get another opportunity throughout the year to wear something like this once you're awarded?
It's really a once-a-year honor, and if I forgot to wear my sash, Bill, I would leave here and go back home and get it, because I look forward to wearing it. It's wrapped in mothballs all year, and it's a great honor. It's blessed by the bishop, and it designates you as Deputy Grand Marshal. Each of the sashes have a date on it and the year that you were honored, and it's a great pleasure to wear it. Yes, we would wear it on other occasions, but this is the most important. When the Belmar Parade Committee marches in the Newark Parade, which is next Sunday, we would also, if we had been honored, wear our sashes.
Well, I won't let you leave the house then without it, because I certainly don't want you to leave me here. That's the Brielle Fire Department passing by now. Some of the folks on top of that unit having a good time in the parade. Manasquan passing by. And we're just about at the end of this honor guard portion of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. That was the fire departments and first aid squads from the neighboring communities supporting this event. and the parade is going to begin soon, so let's go down to Bob Lampinen, who's standing by with George McCormick.
Thanks very much, Bill and Mary. Very impressive honor guard parade to start things off. George McCormick of the parade committee. And George, you've done a terrific job once again. You have to be pleased. Another huge crowd on hand.
Well, I think it's the support of the people and those that have helped us over the years. The restaurateurs, the business people. It's something that we put together with a small committee. And this group worked so hard for 6 months with no compensation, and all I can do is thank them and thank the media and thank you for your support. And it's instrumental in making this a great day.
Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day, George. George is the PA announcer here for the past 10 years and is all set. The time for George to go back to work, so go on up there and have a great St. Patrick's Day parade. Okay, George McCormick, let's go back upstairs right now to Bill and Mary.
Thanks very much, Bob, and thanks to George McCormick and the entire parade committee that makes this such a wonderful event and a rite of spring that happens at the Jersey Shore each year at this time.
I believe that Rita Murphy is on hand for an interview, and she's a very special woman that's being honored this year by the Irish Youth Fund. She is the 1992 Irish Woman of the Year. Rita is celebrating her 35th anniversary with an Irish radio program from Seton Hall, Pageants of Ireland. She is a member of the Irish Heritage Series at Brookdale Community College, where she gives continuous Irish history courses. She is our safeguard, Rita. Rita is involved in everything that is Irish and is good. She's very interested in the Irish-American cultural aspect of the state of New Jersey and has been involved in it all, and I'd be remiss in praising her to the sky. She's
an
a wonderful
absolute
woman.
authority on the legend and lore of Ireland. She was also a guest on a few Bill Jameson shows a while ago when we were celebrating the month of March and St. Patrick's Day, and Rita set me straight. So let's see if she can give us some information. She's standing by now with Bob Lampinen.
Thanks very much, and Rita Murphy, congratulations, the Irish Woman of the Year. You have to be a very, very proud lady.
I am. I'm delighted. I'm thrilled about it. I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm 100% American, but I have Irish roots.
How about the crowd out here today? Isn't it marvelous?
Isn't it marvelous? You know, we had an Irish mist this morning, but it's nice and dry now, so it's lovely. The Lord has been kind to us.
You have hosted a radio show on WSOU up at Seton Hall University, Pageants of Ireland. Is that the name of it?
That's right, Pageant of Ireland.
For 35 years, is that correct?
I've been doing it since March the 17th, 1957.
So you're a very busy lady. I know you never get tired of talking about things that are Irish, do you?
That's quite true, and you never dry up when you're talking about things Irish. It's an inexhaustible treasury.
And I know you're looking forward to today's parade. It will be a great day.
Wonderful, and I really am looking forward to seeing my friends. Margaret O'Neill is my friend, and of course, my sisters and my friend is Larry Cody, who is the Grand Marshal. We're delighted to think that he's the Grand Marshal of the parade. And Margaret, we're delighted about it.
And we're thrilled to have you with us today. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And a happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody.
Oh, that's great. Rita Murphy, Irish Woman of the Year. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, she's never at a loss for words. I love the Irish mist comment. She really does have the gift of gab. That was Rita Murphy.
She's very good, and the Irish Youth Fund, who is honoring Rita this year, is a charity that was formed here at the Jersey Shore and is now 7 years old. Our main focus is children, and the charities that we donate to are represented in all 32 counties in Ireland. And our feeling is that the children are the hope of tomorrow, and it's a small thing to try to repay what Ireland gave to us as Irish Americans, and that is the focus of the Irish Youth Fund, and it's embodied in the person of Rita Murphy this year.
Yes, it's wonderful to have her as a part of this event each year, and to see all these organizations that do so much good throughout the year. We hear so much about the communities, that the organizations in our neighboring communities that reach out for support and help, and this is a chance for us to pay some tribute to them and to the volunteers who make these organizations really run. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of what we have here on the airways and to say thank you to these people for all that they do. Mary, the parade is just a few minutes away. All the excitement, the pageantry, the bands, the color guards, and the marchers for the 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade are just about to us here. And we're going to take a short break and be back with today's parade right after this.
Welcome to Ocean Health Club. We'll show you how fun and easy it is to lose fat and get fit. Ocean Health Club, results now at a price you can afford, with no long-term commitments. We also offer a relaxing jacuzzi, sauna or steam room, and childcare too. Ocean Health Club, Kmart Plaza Wall.
Go shopping in Ireland. Visit the Irish Center on 3rd Avenue in Spring Lake. You'll find a stunning collection of Waterford crystal, a great gift idea for any occasion. Plus, a terrific selection of Belmar china, uniquely Irish in strength and delicacy, a gift unmatched anywhere. For friends and loved ones, famous Claddagh jewelry designs and traditional Irish brooches are special reminders of your affection. And what could be more warmly received than Irish knit sweaters? For everything Irish, go shopping in Ireland at the Irish Center on 3rd Avenue in Spring Lake.
My son lives in California. I'm here in New Jersey. The Weather Channel lets me see what I'm missing.
I watch with my kids. They have all the children's programming, and I love the nature programs on the Discovery Channel.
The world's changing so quickly. My husband and I have CNN on constantly. It's the best way to stay informed.
Cable helped me ace the SAT and get into the college I wanted.
The future's on cable.
Welcome back to the 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. Everyone, I'm Bill Jameson, and with me is Mary Riley. We're enjoying today's festivities so far. We've just had the honor guard pass by, and the body of the parade is about to reach us with the first entrant, and that'll be the Belmar Color Guard.
That's right, followed by the 389th Army Band from Fort Monmouth. With that, we have our traditional opening of the two national anthems and the invocation by Monsignor Smith of St. Rose Parish.
Yes, eventually we will be going down to the podium here with Parade President George McCormick, who you heard from earlier, with Bob Lampinen, and picking up some of the opening ceremonies. As you said, the Irish and the American national anthem will be sung, and the presenting of the colors. Some of the dignitaries will be introduced. We'll certainly hear from Jerry Lynch, as we do each year. Jerry Lynch of the Jerry Lynch Social and Athletic Club was the founder of this parade 19 years ago. You see the Belmar Color Guard coming down, and we're going to go down to our podium. And
again, as I mentioned earlier, we thank you for your participation. We thank you for your support. And we hope that the thing, as it is today, goes on and on to become the biggest and the best in the state of New Jersey. We have leading us off the Belmar Police Color Guard. We'd like to thank the Police Chief, Harold Allen, for his support. Former Chief Dan Monahan marching with him. The members of the Color Guard, Captain Richard Lynch, George Carisi, Detective James Van Hatten, and Detective John Byrne. These are the guys that help us put this together, and it's very instrumental on their part to police this parade. We march in the honor of St. Patrick, and they help us. Now we have our new banner coming up. We just brought in from Ireland yesterday. Carrying the banner is Don Frodash and Eddie Brannigan, former owner of a place called The Boat. Take a look at that banner. We just brought it in from Ireland. It's the first time ever in this country, and we certainly appreciate it. Next we have the Port Authority Police Emerald Society leading our group. The group from Fort Monmouth were tied up in some traffic. They went through a desert, but they couldn't get to Belmar. Special thanks to Tommy Moore and the group. The Port Authority Police have been a stand-up group in this parade for many, many years, and now they're leading us, and we certainly appreciate it.
The 389th Band. And so the Port Authority Police Emerald Society Pipe Band has stepped in and has led the parade for us. They're a fine bunch of men, and they march with us every year with a fine cortege of officers in blue behind the pipe band. Jerry Lynch, the
now we'd
founder
like
of
to
the
present
parade.
to you the founder of our parade, a gentleman that's been the stalwart and the guy that put this whole thing together. Our good friend Jerry Lynch will introduce the members of the clergy and sing our national anthem and the Irish national anthem.
We don't have any musical backgrounds. I'm going to ask my senior Smith to stand here alongside me, and we'll both sing it. I know he can sing it without the music, and we'll both try it. He's Irish in this.
We'll sing you a song, a soldier's song, with cheering, rousing chorus, as round our blazing fires we throng, the starry heavens o'er us, impatient for the coming fight. And as we wait the morning's light, here in the silence of the night, we will chant a soldier's song. Soldiers are we, whose lives are pledged to Ireland. Some have come from a land beyond the wave, sworn to be free. No more our ancient Ireland shall shelter the despot or the slave. Tonight we man the venerable gale, in errance cause come war will, mid cannons draw and rifles peal. We will chant a soldier's song. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, stay the star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now, I would like to introduce Monsignor Smith, St. Rose Parish, for the invocation.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, as we gather here today on this beautiful afternoon, we thank you first of all for the lovely weather. Brought out a nice crowd and do great honor to St. Patrick. We hope that we pray to you and ask you to bless all of us here who are watching the parade, to bless our country, to bless our nation, to bless our state, to bless this town in which we live and all the towns from which we come. We ask you to bless our world, that there will be peace and tranquility and hope and joy for everyone who lives. And in the name of St. Patrick, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be ever at your back. And when you come to die, may the only sorrow you leave behind be the wailing of the poor. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you.
Monsignor Smith of our local parish, St. Rose, that was a lovely invocation.
You know, it's kind of interesting. This was the first year that I can recall we did it without the musical accompaniment of the 389th Army Band from Fort Monmouth. And there we had Jerry Lynch doing the Irish and the Irish National Anthem and the Star Spangled Banner without musical accompaniment, and then joined by Reverend Smith, which was absolutely wonderful.
They have beautiful voices.
Talk about improvising. Boy, they stepped in and filled the moment beautifully, and it was really a great job they did. And, of course, we did hear just a few moments ago, and we're getting a chance to see the pipe band from the Port Authority Police Emerald Society. And we also saw the new banner that was just brought in from Ireland, as George McCormick mentioned.
Emerald Society.
As I said, that's the Police Port Authority Emerald Society Pipe Band, and our 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade is underway, Mary Riley. We're watching our marchers now from the Port Authority passing by the reviewing stand on 9th Avenue and Main Street. And it's a beautiful, I don't know, Mary, but is it me or did I just feel the sun kind of get a little stronger right when they were playing and singing the national anthem?
It's a beautiful day, and here's the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, and carrying the banner are Mary Trackman, Sam Grace, Cornelia Ryan, and Noreen McCormick. The St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee Executive Board is Jerry Lynch, the founder, George McCormick, President, Andrew Gallagher, Vice President, Dave Stanley, General Chairman and Treasurer, Cornelia Ryan, Recording Secretary.
There's our Grand Marshal.
There's our Grand Marshal, Larry Cody. And Larry Cody has made a difficult choice today, but one that we can be very proud of. He's chosen to march by himself in honor of his mother-in-law, who passed away last week, Claire Duffy. He's marching alone in memory of Claire Duffy, a woman that lived with him for 21 years. She was widowed at 43 and raised her family by herself, and the family was devastated. And he's followed by our past Grand Marshals of the Belmar Parade. Mike Doolin, Clarence Reed, Pat Dodd, Leo Carlin, Tom Murphy, and Freeholder President Tom Powers.
And here we see some representatives from the Irish Federation of Monmouth County.
This would be the organization that is marching with our Deputy Grand Marshal, Margaret O'Neill, and they're very proud to be marching with Margaret. The pipe band escorting them is the AOH Monsignor Crean Division I Pipe Band.
Ancient Order of Librarians of Princeton, New Jersey, Division I.
And this will be our Deputy Grand Marshal.
Margaret Cahill O'Neill with her husband Mike, and she's just delighted. She's marching with her son Michael and his wife Annette, Sean and his wife Imelda, and Kevin and Brian. She was born in County Offaly, in a county that has about 8,000 people. And she came to this country in 1957, and she's been a very active member of the community since then. She's very interested in anything that is cultural. She is followed by past presidents of the Irish Federation of Monmouth County. Pat Kenny, Tom Healy, Rossi Deegan, Nick Mullins, John Fay.
Certainly the best Irish group.
And this should be some of our past deputy grand marshals.
All these things that make the Irish community.
The Irish Federation has over 300 members.
The marches
It's grown
of the
very
Irish
strong. They have an annual dance. They raise money for Make-A-Wish Foundation and different community charities.
Not among the
Every
past
year
deputy
you
grand
go up to
marshals
the
is
Irish
Mary
Festival,
Riley, who's
you'll
seated
see
with
the
me
Irish
here today.
Federation there.
Mary, you were the grand marshal a few years ago, and deputy grand marshal a few years ago. I'm happy to have you up here with me. And as we see on the sign, it's great to be Irish, not only today, but year-round.
I'd say there's over 300 marches with the Irish Federation today to support Margaret O'Neill, their former president. She just stepped out of office. One of the goals of the Irish Federation, in which they're raising money for, is to set up an Irish center of culture, dance, music, and a library so that people can learn about their Irish roots. Make it a center for Monmouth County for the state of New Jersey.
Okay, that's Kenneth Pringle, our mayor in Belmar, New Jersey. I got to admit now, I've been doing this for 12 years, as I said, and I don't recall there ever being a plane in a Belmar St. Patrick's Day parade, but I see one there today.
We have to thank the commissioners and mayor of Belmar. They give us great support. And that's James Graham of South Belmar with Edward Robertson, Bob Gagan, Carmine Napa, Joseph Quinn, Peter Rabe, and Tom McCann. And they're smiling away.
Bobby Gagan driving the car.
Riding in a green Mustang convertible, followed by a green Ford Fairlane.
Members of the South Belmar, Ed Robinson, and the rest of the members of the board.
The parade forms on both sides of Lake Como, so there's actually the cooperation of 3 towns, Spring Lake, South Belmar, and Belmar.
I see Jack waving.
This is Mayor Byrne of Spring Lake and his council members, Joseph Rizzo, Priscilla Riley, John Phillips, Richard Wiener, Richard Fury, and Pat McDonald. And Congressman Frank Malone riding in the convertible.
Dick Scuderi joining him in that convertible. Wishing everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day today on Main Street. There's a friend of ours, Mayor of Manasquan, John Winterstella. He's got a canine companion keeping him warm today. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And Kip has on a shamrock scarf.
That's his wife, Judy Winterstella, driving.
Also with him is the Democratic chairman of Monmouth County.
And the Monmouth County Republicans float is the first float for the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And riding on the float is County Chairman Bill Dowd, Freeholder Harry Larison Jr., Freeholder Ted Narazanik, Freeholder Amy Hanlon, Carmen Stappiello, County Clerk Jane Clayton, Christine Todd Whitman, Assemblyman Tom Smith, Assemblyman Steve Corridamus, and Assemblyman Mike Arnone, and Assemblyman Joe Azzolino.
It's a tough thing for me to do. Monmouth County Republican.
There's some folks tossing some treats out to the crowd from the Monmouth County Republican float. Passing the reviewing stand here.
County Chairman Bill Dowd, Freeholder Harry Larison, Freeholder Ted Narazanik, Freeholder Amy Hanlon.
Well, things are moving along, Mary. There's Joe Kalea. He's having a good time. He's in the car directly behind the float.
And that's his grandson, Anthony.
Christian Todd Whitman, Assemblyman Tom Smith.
On St. Patrick's Day, there's only 2 kinds of people, the Irish and those that wish they were Irish.
Well, you know, there's about 100,000 people here, and there's got to be just as many green pieces of clothing lining this street. I know people scramble around a few days before and realize we're going to the parade, and as I went around town this morning, a few hours before things began, I saw people just walking up and down the street with green socks, shoes, shirts, hats, sweaters, and everybody was just searching for something green to wear to be a part of this parade, whether they're marching or lining the marching route.
That's Tom Smith and Steve Cordemus, Assemblyman 11th District. Well, the tradition of wearing green for St. Patrick's Day goes back to almost 1640, and in Ireland they'd wear fresh shamrocks on their lapels.
So that's where it started. It's that's why they call it the Emerald Isle. Looks like we have Andrew Cecila and Ginny Haynes and David Wolf in this car. There's an Irish sweater.
Looks very much like yours, Bill.
Very much like mine.
And Steve Cordinas.
When I was a child growing up, my mother's two sisters always sent us fresh shamrocks from Ireland. It would arrive in a little plastic bag, and we'd wear that to school that day.
Well, what comes first, the Emerald Isle or the idea that you wear green on St. Patrick's Day? I mean, was it because it was called the Emerald Isle that we decided the tradition of wearing green?
Well, of course, the tradition of the shamrock dates back to St. Patrick, where when he was making Christians of the ancient Irish, and they had some doubt. Here are the Knights of Columbus about the Trinity. And I'll get back to that. This is from Long Branch, Keyport, Old Bridge, Bricktown, and Neptune. The Knights of Columbus, Right Reverend Monsignor John F. Baldwin Assembly. Louis E. Keegan is president, and the dignitaries with them today are John Evers, Paul Coffey, Alonzo Cromwell, G. Kiesler, and Gerard Badara.
And each year they honor the Rosary, the tradition, the Knights of Columbus, defenders of the Rosary, and they are carrying the Living Rosary.
It is the St. Joseph's Fourth Degree Assembly, the St. Joseph's Council Knights of Columbus, and their faithful navigator Fred Kohler, Grand Knight Joseph Condren, and Norman Hughes, Color Corps Commander.
There's a shot of the Rosary.
Monsignor Thomas Riley Council was the Star Council Award for last year. The Mary Queen of Knights Council, Neptune City.
St. Joseph Council.
Their Grand Knight is Phil G.M. Bielo, and the dignitaries are Mark Murtaugh and John Kopkak. The Knights of Columbus also form part of the parade for the Belmar Investiture Mass. They lead the bishop down the center aisle of the church and escort him to the altar.
There's some more of the crowd lining Main Street and some of our marchers again. Everybody, as you can see, as I said, scrambling. I know there was some scrambling in the Jameson house. We had a guest come in to spend the day with us, and he wasn't wearing green when he arrived, so we had to dig out all the old green sweaters and sweatshirts we could find and make sure that he was properly attired to attend the festivities here. His first Belmar parade. I'm sure it won't be his last, Mary. Again, these are marchers from the Knights of Columbus of Spring Lake. And pretty soon we're going to have another staple of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Belmar, and that's the friendly Sons of the Shillelagh Pipe Band.
And last year, that band marched in New York City on March 16th, in the Dublin St. Patrick's Day Parade on March 17th, and in Limerick City, which is on the West Coast, on March 18th.
You know, I recall speaking about that last year and how they were going to be hopping from pillar to post, so to speak, to make sure they made the international flights to get where they had to go. So they left the Belmar Parade.
Their pipe major is Bart McDade, pipe corporal Brian O'Sullivan, the drum major is Tom Duffy, the drum sergeant is Paul Wilson, and the business manager is Charlie Rizzo.
Let's take a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Premier Group friendly sons of the Shillelagh and helped us start this parade. I'm so proud of them. Five major partner stage, Vice Corporal Brian O'Sullivan, drum major, Vice Sergeant Tom Duffy, Drum Sergeant Paul Wilson, Business Manager Sally Rizzo. Now we bring you the man that helped start the friendly company Shillelagh in South Jersey, Charlie Donnelly, President.
The Order of the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh, Old Bridge, New Jersey. The president is Charlie Donnelly, vice president Bob Coyle, treasurer Mike Cavallo, recording secretary Kevin Dunphy, corresponding secretary Ray Costello, the first keeper of the Shillelagh, Pat Hertline, the second keeper of the Shillelagh, Jim Alkire, the steward is Steve Hansel. Last year in the Dublin Parade, they were selected as the best foreign marching band in the parade, so that was quite an honor.
That's quite an honor.
And in Limerick, they were selected as the best dressed band of the whole parade. So they came from Ireland with great awards and a year they'll never forget.
Well, they look well dressed, and it's nice to have them here for the Belmar Parade. Mary, what exactly is the Shillelagh? Tell us briefly about that while we watch the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh.
Well, you can see some of them marching with walking sticks, but the Shillelagh is actually smaller than that. It's a weapon. It was a club in the old days, but it would be an actual from the blackthorn tree. And there's a town in County Wicklow called Shillelagh. So you will see the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh. It would signify something Irish, something from Ireland. And that's where their loyalties lie. And they march here today honoring St. Patrick. You might remember 2 years ago, one of their rank was our Grand Marshal, Tom Murphy. And they have never let us down with one of the largest contingents in the parade. And they are actually last year's winner of the Best Pipe Band Award. 1991,
well,
Belmar St. Patrick's Day
the
Parade.
Shillelagh was once a weapon, it's nice to know that they are the friendly sons of the Shillelagh.
That's correct.
Here comes Tom Murphy.
Okay.
It's the third time
Things
you
are moving
marched.
along. Boy, they had quite a large group with them today.
They have also organized a Friendly Sons of Shillelagh of the Jersey Shore, which my husband belongs, and George McCormick is the president. It's a newly formed organization, and we'll see them march later on in the parade.
Well, people say the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade is the biggest in the state, certainly the most well-attended. And with us today, we are joined by another parade committee, and that is the Newark St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. They've joined us for this year's parade on Main Street in Belmar.
The Newark Parade is the oldest in the state, and with them today is their Grand Marshal, Frank James. Their General Chairman is Jerry Lenahan. The Grand Marshal is Frank James. The Deputy Grand Marshal is Mary Morley. And with them is marching the Essex County Surrogate, Honorable Thomas Giblin. They also have with them the president of the Women of Irish Heritage, Joan Fox, and all their past Grand Marshals and Deputy Grand Marshals.
Well, they brought a good group out here from Newark to be part of the Belmar Parade. They've got to be pretty happy, pretty excited to see this kind of a crowd lining Main Street in Belmar.
There's Tom Giblin waving to the crowd. You see, they have an opportunity to wear their sashes. These would be aids to the deputy and aids to the Grand Marshal of the Newark Parade.
And they're followed by women of Irish heritage.
Ronnie Summers is carrying the banner, and their president, Joan Fox, is with him. Here we have the Irish Festival Committee of New Jersey, led by Pat Sweeney, who's this year's chairman. That would be the last Sunday in June, and we'll be at the Garden State Arts Center.
And we're going to be hearing more about that on a future Bill Jameson show, Mary. I know there's a big event planned at the Garden State Arts Center this year.
There's Pat Sweeney now. She's a lovely lady and has done so much work to make it the best festival ever.
And another regular group that's a part of the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade is the Belmar Elementary School Band.
And their director is Bridget Griffin. And they have new costumes. They look lovely with their cheerleaders in front. The Jerry Lynch Social and Athletic Club. The banner is being carried by Isabel Smith and Ann Ray, the chairman of the Investiture Mass and Communion Breakfast, followed by Andy Gallagher, Fran Lynch, and Jerry Lynch, the standard bearer and founder of the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And of course, these are the people that are responsible for this event for the last 19 years, the Jerry Lynch Social and Athletic Club, and it's good to have them with us.
Andy Gallagher is the president. Bill O'Connell is the first vice president. Larry Kelly is the second vice president. And Dave Stanley is the treasurer.
There's Dave with us now. He's going to be taking up his spot, I'm sure, along the at the podium here. And following the Jerry Lynch Social and Athletic Club, we have the Queen's Float.
Next we have a little
This year's winners for the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade, Susan Welsh, the queen of this year's parade, and her court.
Susan is from Bricktown, and she's a junior at Rutgers University. Her court is Shauna Henham from Long Branch, Jacqueline McIntyre of Bradley Beach, Julie Fleming of Point Pleasant, and Jennifer O'Neill of Seagirt. They're beautiful girls. They're judged not only and selected not only on their beauty, but also their poise and their ability to answer questions. As my mother would say, think on their feet. The new queen showed a deep concern for the nation's poor and homeless. I believe she was asked if she could change the world. She said she would see that more attention was paid to these deserving groups. Lois Gallagher and Joan Grace run this beautiful event, and Joan Grace is now working for Monmouth Cablevision.
Where are you guys going to be later?
Well, there's a lovely group of ladies, and a very thoughtful group, very talented. Susan Welsh, the 1992 parade queen.
Where were they when we needed them?
And Mary, here we go with the Irish Center. Your
Yeah,
group?
Yes, the Irish Center banner is being carried by my godson, Joe Finn, followed by my husband, who's carrying the Fermanagh sign. It's the Irish Center's salute to the 32 counties of Ireland.
Okay, Mary, I'm going to let you do your thing. Go
Here
for it.
we are. Cork is Peggy Ryan, Clare Mary Dugan, Derry Gus Wolfe, Donegal Kathy McGrory, Waterford Tom McGrory, Kilkenny Eleanor Mahan, Kerry Jim Connolly, Galway Pat Sweeney, Tipperary Kathy Finn, Limerick Barbara Lloyd, Wicklow Sheila Sullivan, Carlow Meg Sullivan, Laois Carol Lynch, Offaly Dan Lynch, Dublin Maureen Timmins, Kildare Pat O'Reilly, Meath Barbara Doherty, Westmeath Kathy Keaty, Roscommon Bernie Berry, Mayo Joe Finn, Louth Bart Barry, Cavan Helen Fulner, Leitrim Patty Kirshner, Sligo Jane Gannon, Down Mara Gannon, Armagh Mary Walsh, Monaghan Marion Berry, Fermanagh Dick Maloney, Tyrone Peggy Mantrasty, Antrim Richard Mantrasty, Longford Joan Feinberg, and Wexford Bill Feinberg.
And in case you need something to wet your whistle, after that, Mary, you can stop over at Kelly's Tavern in Neptune, New Jersey, and they're our next entrant in the parade.
Kelly's is owned by the Kelly family of Avon, and they're a wonderful family, very active in the community. Bill Kelly is also a member of the Belmar Parade Committee and helps us every year in the organization.
And following Kelly's, we'll have another pipe band. It's the 84th Highland Immigrants Pipe Band, sponsored by Kelly's Tavern. They're with us once again for the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade.
The 84th Highland Immigrant Band has marched in the Belmar Parade for 19 years. Their pipe major is Dr. Richard Shackleton, and it has marched for 29 years as a group. They played for President Nixon in 1976. There's two little Kelly children.
There they go. How you doing, sweetie? She's got it. Maybe a future queen there.
Every year they march to the Highland Our major, Richard Shackleton. They were the first bagpipe band that ever marched in this parade. They've been together for 29 years. They've marched every Belmar parade.
Well, that's the 84th Highland Immigrants Pipe Band, and now standing by is Bob Lampin, and let's go down to Bob right now.
Thanks a lot. With me, Monsignor Smith from St. Rose. And Monsignor, a great day. You having a good time?
A tremendous, tremendous day. One of the best we've had. This is my 17th parade.
And I know yesterday morning you had your St. Patrick's Investiture Mass, and it was really something special, wasn't it?
It was, yes. It was probably the biggest crowd we ever had, and it grows each year. It gets to be a bigger event and I think a more solemn and more holy event, you know. So we're very proud of it.
How do you enjoy the march down the road here?
I love it. I look forward to it. I wouldn't miss it if I could possibly help it. I'd be here every year.
And a lot of people putting this together do a terrific job, don't they?
Do a great job. I wouldn't want to have the headaches that go into putting it all together. Putting this one here and this one there, and somebody doesn't show up, and it gets to be quite a battle, you know.
Wonderful. We're happy to have you with us, Monsignor. Enjoy the rest of the parade.
Same to you, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you very much. Stay right there. Let's go back upstairs.
Thanks a lot, Bob. As I said, the Monsignor was with us a few minutes ago when he accompanied Jerry Lynch at the beginning of the parade, standing in for our 389th band from Fort Monmouth that didn't make it. They did a stirring rendition of the Irish and the American national anthems. And now we're getting a look at the float that is sponsored by the... Here's a youngster who's out here enjoying the parade.
Stephen Kircher. Oh, what a lovely Irish smile.
Beautiful.
That's what the day is about. It's a family day for everyone.
It sure is. And as I was saying, this is the Belmar Kiwanis Club that has a float here with us.
Maureen O'Connell is their president. With them today is Denise Fuscarina, and Brian McGovern is vice president. They have 16 years of directing the Belmar 5-mile run. Over 4,000 runners come from all over the world to run.
Another big event at the Jersey Shore is the Belmar 5-mile run.
A very active and community supportive group. They raise money for worthy charities throughout the area.
And as you can see, the run this year will be on August 15th in the heat of the summer.
The Monmouth County Sheriff's Office in marchers. Sheriff William M. Lanzaro, and the sheriff's officers are William Berlew and Lieutenant Robert Riggs.
Sheriff Lanzaro will instrumental
Under Sheriff Ted Riemann, marching with the Monmouth County Sheriff's Officer.
Joining Sheriff Lanzaro, and there we have some more representatives from the Sheriff's Department here of Monmouth County. Right down on the street.
Gentlemen, we appreciate it. We thank you for your support.
I noticed in my notes it says a marked sheriff's car. We don't see the unmarked ones. And some more vans from the Monmouth County Sheriff's Department and Public Information Bureau.
The president of the Monmouth County Crime Prevention Officers Association is Dan Smith from Ocean Township.
There are some folks enjoying a ride on top of the back of a flatbed truck that is sponsored by the Monmouth County Crime Prevention Officers Association.
It's Officer McGruff's float.
Oh, somebody's giving out treats again. Always draws a crowd. A parade. Gotta be an American institution. Look at that. Oh, almost could grab that right out of the set there. And here are the Shrewsbury Marching Tigers. Oh, there's McGruff. He's getting a ride with the Sheriff's Department and the Crime Prevention Officers Association. Beautiful white and green balloons, and the white and green colors of the Shrewsbury Marching Tigers are with us now. This is another group we see each year at the Belmar Parade.
It's the 12th year that the Marching Tigers have marched in the Belmar Parade, and its 65 members look forward to this parade and perform in as many as 17 other functions each year. The director is Ken Campbell, and front squad director is Mrs. Pat Campbell. This year the band has added its keyboards to the marching band thanks to transportation provided by Jim Curley of Jim Curley Pontiac.
Pom-poms, twirlers, and the Shrewsbury Marching Band. Let's have a listen. The Shrewsbury Marching Tigers are followed by the marchers from the St. Rose School in Belmar. We've got cheerleaders and some marchers from the St. Rose Grammar School.
Sister Dorothy Payne is the principal, and they have a fine marching group this year from St. Rose, and they're sponsoring a jam after the parade, and they're hoping that everybody will come and join the St. Rose family in celebrating the St. Patrick's Day parade. They're going to have Joe Finn, famous Irish folk singer, Danny Flynn and Owen McGurr, so they're going to have Irish music, Irish dancing, and loads of corned beef and cabbage.
Something to look forward to for those who want to take a little break after the parade. There's a couple that don't need a break. Following the St. Rose Grammar School marchers, we have the Belmar Elementary School float in this year's St. Patrick's Day parade. Basketball champions.
And it's sponsored by the Belmar Chamber of Commerce, whose president is Ray Langbane and the vice president Casey Campion. They'd like to congratulate the Belmar Elementary School girls basketball team champions, the Eagles, and their coach Connie, riding on the float. That float is sponsored by the Tides Cafe, the Coast Star, Birdsall Engineering, and Connolly, Campion, and Wright Insurance in Belmar. The Belmar Parade Committee relies on the contributions of local businesses to pay for the floats, to pay for the bands. This is Holy Innocents School in Neptune. They're cheerleaders and their student body. Their principal is Sister Phyllis Vila.
We're going to hear some cheers as we see Holy Innocents march by with their banner.
Now we have Holy Innocents School from Neptune.
Thank you, Holy Innocents.
Very enthusiastic. It's a lovely uniform.
And as they pass by, they are immediately followed by the Patricia Murphy School of Irish Dance. We've seen them before, and it's nice to have them back with us once again. Happy group of youngsters and their teachers, parents, a part of the Belmar Parade. And here's a little Irish step-in for us.
That's the Irish jig. Lovely group. This year, 2 of the dances will appear with Frank Patterson at Radio City in New York. And daughters Christine Murphy qualified for the World Championships in Ireland. So the Patricia Murphy School of Irish Dance is growing and is accumulating awards each year. And I think that was fun, the way they did a little dance for us.
We had just a brief glimpse. If you want to see more, you'll have to go see Patricia
It was a teaser.
Murphy.
It was a teaser.
And their marchers, they have 9 branches within our area.
This is the National Westminster Bank, with representatives of the 9 area branches. Following them is the Toms River High School South Marching Indians Bands, sponsored by National Westminster.
They were in the White House, they were in the tournament of Logan.
Well, like I said, Mary, this is the time of year where everybody goes and brings out all their green attire. There is so much of it out here today. Lining the street here in Main Street in Belmar for this 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. In just a few minutes, we're going to see a marching band join us, and we have Bob Lampinen standing by with the Grand Marshal of the parade. Let's go down to Bob now.
Lawrence Cody is our Grand Marshal, and you just made the long trip down, Mr. Grand Marshal. It's got to be a special feeling when you see all these people out here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. All the friendliness and the enthusiasm and seeing so many friends that maybe you haven't seen in a couple of years. It was just terrific. And the good Lord didn't provide us with any rain, so now the sun is actually coming through just like a real day for the Irish.
Now, you preside over the company Public Service Electric and Gas, the biggest corporation in New Jersey. But how's it feel to preside over not only a few thousand employees, but a couple of 100,000 people out here today?
Well, it's really terrific. You know, just the enthusiasm and the spontaneity is so much different. Just a real honor to be selected by the committee, and it's an honor of my families and all my ancestors. Just terrific.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mr. Grand Marshal. Have a great day.
Thank you.
The Grand Marshal, let's go back upstairs.
Well, thanks a lot, Bob. That was Grand Marshal Larry Codeney, who is the 19th Grand Marshal for the Belmar Parade. And now we're getting a look at the Toms River High School Marching Indians. Marchers, color guard, cheerleaders,
Thank the girls and guys in this group.
Twirlers.
Outstanding.
One of the outstanding bands in the state. The costumes were beautiful. Thank NatWest for sponsoring them in the parade, adding to today's festivities. A parade without music is just a procession. We need to have the bands. We need to have the pipe bands and the school bands.
And the more the merrier. Certainly a nice addition having the Toms River High School South Marching Indians band with us today.
I can't understand why they win the trophy every year. Again, thank you, Ron Smith.
The band director is Ron Smith.
Is that the best high school
Well, we
band
were
you
right
ever
in the
played?
middle of the Toms River High School South Marching Indians band there, Mary Riley.
The Jersey Shore Medical Center, and on their float is John Feeney, the 1991 Young Doctor of the Year. He's also a great fan of Notre Dame. The Young Doctor Award recognized Dr. Feeney for his excellence in teaching and clinical research and for serving as a role model for young doctors. Feeney continues to serve the community by overseeing the Donated Dental Services, a program which provides free dental care to the indigent and handicapped. The theme of the Jersey Shore Medical Center's float is the top of the day to safe play. To promote safe play, be it while bicycling, rollerblading, swimming, or any sports activity, Jersey Shore Medical Center hopes to convince you to have a hand in your health. Remember those protective helmets and padding. Don't be foolish. Help us help you by playing safely.
And part of the Jersey Shore Medical Center marchers, we have, well, I guess, what do you call them? They're on rollerblades. They're not really marchers. They're sort of rollers who are coming down Main Street in Belmar. And there you have the Jersey Shore Medical Center float. And as you mentioned, the Young Doctor of the Year award. I'm surprised it would actually go to a real doctor. I would think it would come off of a daytime soap opera.
Oh, he's a fabulous fellow, Jack Feedy. And Mike Cahill is also on the float, a pediatrician from Spring Lake. Followed by the St. Brendan, the Navigator, Pipes and Drums, 25 members marching. Bernie Snyder is their president, Tom Carroll, Pipe Major, Brian Southwell, Pipe Sergeant, Sam McNeil, Bernie Snyder, Drum Major, Jack Cronin, Drum Sergeant, and Kelly Donahue, Drum Corporal.
And as you said, Mary, it's not a parade without music, and the St. Brendan Pipe and Drum Band will be providing some for us now as the music continues to roll along. Let's listen in.
band and pipe band is sponsored by the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick of the Jersey Shore. Their president is Michael Clark. First Vice President William O'Grady. Second Vice President Michael Warshaw. The treasurer is John Fleming, and the secretary is Clarence Reed. Their Irishman of the Year this year is Father John Mannion. And the Order of the St. Brendan Award is Monsignor Kevin Flanagan. 5 past Grand Marshals are members of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick. John Fleming, Tom Powers, Jerry Lynch, Mike Doolin, and Clarence Reed. And you can see that some of those gentlemen marched twice.
And you can also see those happy faces, young and old, enjoying themselves as they're walking down Main Street. They don't look any worse for the wear, having come that mile from Lake Como to us here on 9th Avenue. They're followed immediately by none other than our hometown channel float.
And there's Tom Flood riding in a car. Tom Flood is the past president of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick of the Jersey Shore. And
there we are. Your hometown channel, TV-34. We have our float in this year's parade. Let's go down to Bob Lampinen right now.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bill and Mary, and here we are on our TV-34 float, your hometown channel, and a familiar face, the news director, Bob Hartman, with us right now. How's the crowd been, Robert?
Crowd's good. We're having a good time as always, and I got an Irish saying for you.
Well, keep it clean. Go ahead.
It's clean. Don't walk in front of me because I might not follow you. Don't walk behind me because I might not lead. Walk beside me and just be my friend.
All right, good job. Glad to have you with us. Bob Smith, our public relations manager. And Bob, public relations, you can't beat this. You love having all the public out here.
This is great. We're having a great time here, and the public is out. It looks like everybody's having a great time.
They certainly are. And Jeff Gravatt, host of Let's Go Racing right here. And Jeff, I think this is your first trip on the TV-34 float. How you enjoying it?
Real good, Bob. A lot of nice people out here, a lot of people waving, having a good time. It's fun to be here.
Okay, thanks a lot. Love that, boys. Real good guys. And back upstairs to Bill and Mary.
Mary, I'm not sure, but there was a rumor going around that you and I were too good looking to go up on top of that float. And Lampinen just made the cut. And now we have the Benevolent Protective Order of Elks. Remember, Monmouth Cable cares. A parting thought from the folks at Monmouth Cablevision and TV-34. And on to the Benevolent Protective Order of Elks. This is a service organization. I had some Elks on a recent Bill Jameson show, and I found out that the Elks are the second largest organization granting college scholarships to young Americans, behind only the United States federal government. So they do a lot of good today and tomorrow for this country. And here are some of the Elks that are marching with us in the parade. We have the Belmar and the Manasquan chapters represented, of both the Benevolent Protective Order of Elks and their Ladies Auxiliary.
Well, the exalted ruler in Belmar is Michael Manson, and the trustee is Ed Weber. In Manasquan, the exalted ruler is Ron DeLuca. And dignitaries marching with them today are Mary Ellen Zoll, the Lady President, and Lady of the Year Ellen Wright. Elk of the Year is Walter Litzbauer.
Mary Ellen Zoll.
I might as well take this opportunity to mention that while I spoke with a few folks from the Manasquan Elks Lodge, they are trying to form a lodge in Wall, New Jersey, and anyone who's interested in doing some extra good for the community, it's a wonderful organization to consider, and they're always looking for new members, and there's plenty of good to do. And it's a nice, friendly organization to be a part of also. There's the president of the Ladies Auxiliary.
Mary Ellen Zoll. As well as scholarships, I believe they have a large children's crippled fund that they raise money for.
They do an awful lot. They had over 3 million participants across the country last year in the Hoop Shoot, which is their trademark activity that they do for young children.
Lady of the Year.
It's our Manasquan Elk Lady of the Year.
Ellen Wright.
She's riding in a Corvair convertible. I haven't seen a Corvair in a while. Let's go to the podium where we have our queen standing by. Oh, she's with George McCormick. That's a good shot of her. Our queen, Susan Welsh. Lovely girl. Back to the parade, some more of the Elks.
Welsh and Walsh are the same name, and it comes from Welshmen that moved to Ireland. It is the 5th most common name in Ireland.
Welsh or
There's
Walsh.
nothing common about
or
Susan.
You combine them together.
She's very beautiful.
Lovely girl. Continuing to have the Manasquan Elks passing by the reviewing stand now.
Manasquan Elks, one of the biggest supporters of the parade. Thank you.
And now we see the Red Bank Catholic High School marching band. They've been with us before. Go ahead, tell us about the Casey.
Oh, that's the Casey Marching Band. George Powers is the band director. Linda Delaney, Marching Unit Advisor. Jason Byrne, President. Drum majors Mary Dapolito and Laura. The flag captains are Kate and Pam Roberts. The featured twirlers, Bernadette Caputo. And the twirlers captain is Margaret Cassidy. The rifle captain is Heidi Recca. They won 12th place in the 1991 New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade, 3rd place squad New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade, 2nd consecutive year. And of course, their uniforms are the colors of the Irish flag, green, white, and orange.
They were one of the winners in the New York St. Patrick's Day Parade. And we thank them for being here.
In the Red Bank Catholic Casey Marching Band is followed by members of the Monmouth Council of Boy Scouts of America, proudly carrying the colors and various troop flags. The Monmouth Council, Boy Scouts of America, and Cub Scouts following closely behind. That's Cub Pack 9 from Bradley Beach.
We'd like to thank them.
There's over 200 in their unit this year. They're starting with the Pack 9 Bradley Beach, the Troop Pack 40 Belmar, Pack 81 Neptune, Pack 89 Avon, Pack and Troop Neptune, number 162, Troop number 194 Wall, Troop 145 West Long Branch. They marched as one unit this year, over 200 of them. Now, you know that took a lot of time for these wonderful volunteers to keep the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts going.
A lot of medals and a lot of badges.
If I tried to mention every name, I'd be a big man.
All right, we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back with more after this.
Get into the swing of things at RKE Athletics' brand new state-of-the-art indoor video batting cages. Perfect your hitting skills facing our lifelike pitchers. For little leaguers and pros alike, slow and fast-pitch softballers, there's no comparison. RKE also offers hourly rentals for teams and birthday parties with video games too. Stop in today for the ultimate hitting experience.
RKE's the place to be.
RKE Video Batting Cages, corner of 16th Avenue and Highway 71 Belmar.
Welcome to Ocean Health Club. We'll show you how fun and easy it is to lose fat and get fit. Ocean Health Club, results now at a price you can afford, with no long-term commitments. We also offer a relaxing jacuzzi, sauna or steam room, and childcare too. Ocean Health Club, Kmart Plaza Wall.
Go shopping in Ireland. Visit the Irish Center on 3rd Avenue in Spring Lake. You'll find a stunning collection of Waterford crystal, a great gift idea for any occasion. Plus, a terrific selection of Belgique china, uniquely Irish in strength and delicacy, a gift unmatched anywhere. For friends and loved ones, famous Claddagh jewelry designs and traditional Irish brooches are special reminders of your affection. And what could be more warmly received than Irish knit sweaters? For everything Irish, go shopping in Ireland at the Irish Center on 3rd Avenue in Spring Lake.
Welcome back to the 19th Annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. We just saw the Boy Scout, the Monmouth Council of Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts passing by as they continue to pass the reviewing stand here. There's another rollerblader going by. And we see now this is a float entered by the Monmouth Council of Boy Scouts. And I can't see his face. I'm not sure who it is.
Next we have coming up are the Girl Scouts.
This is maybe your ultimate Scoutmaster there. Let's see his merit badges, though, for float directing. All right. Right.
He's waving at the Daisy Girl Scouts that are following him. Debbie Kernahan is their leader. There's Daisy Girl Scout Troop number 626. Then
Of course, we have the Girl Scouts, the Brownies, and the Daisies passing by.
Yeah, Brownie Troop number 130 and Brownie Troop number 259.
I have Brownie Troop 126 from St. Catherine's there, Brownie Troop 919 from Neptune. Well, there are quite a few of them out here. Junior Girl Scout Troop 672 from Shrewsbury, Girl Scouts from Troop 443, Troop 462 from West Belmar, Girl Scout Troop 544 from Oakhurst, St. Veronica's Girl Scout Troops of Howell Township, all part of the Young Scouts, Monmouth Council of Young Scouts, Boys and Girls.
They made a concerted effort this year for all the troops to march together, and I think it makes a beautiful presentation.
Nice to see them out here enjoying the parade. Well, you can see, as I said, they're enthusiastic. They finished their walk down this mile route of the parade, and they don't seem any worse for the wear. As I said,
right.
they seem to still have that energy and enthusiasm. I suppose that's a part of being in this parade and having this crowd from beginning to end line the street to keep your energy level up.
This is actually the end of the march, and they're just as enthusiastic now as they were when they began. You can see they're having a good time.
And the crowd along Main Street is enjoying themselves. You know, you put a few people together, you bang an instrument or a drum now and then, and you've got a parade. And it's just amazing what has evolved out of this parade over the 19 years, from a few marchers years ago as a part of the brainstorm of the Jerry Lynch Social and Athletic Club to become such a statewide event. And people do come from all over the state. This is not just a local event for Belmar and the neighboring communities. People travel all over the place, and the directions I've seen in the press releases indeed tell you how to get here by the major arteries of the Parkway and the Turnpike, because people do want to attend the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade, touted as the most well-attended parade in the state. We're seeing a van from WJLK AM and FM,
followed by the American Red Cross Band.
Jerry Guido, Rizzo, Maureen Presley, and Sean Marsh. Great group of people.
Banner proclaiming the United Way, the Big Sisters and the Big Brothers organization of the United Way. They're a fine fundraising group. Many of the local utilities have United Way fundraisers within the company and matching funds.
and they seem to have sandwiched themselves into the march, while we still get another shot of some Monmouth County Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts that are passing, actually a Brownie groups, and then we've got
86th anniversary, okay.
the Asbury Park Press Float, partners in the community since 1879.
And the American Red Cross marching behind them.
And the press sponsored the United Way, and they join with the United Way in thanking you for your generous support through the years. The United Way, it brings the best out in all of us.
Gentlemen, again, thank you for your participation and support of this parade.
Some happy folks from the Asbury Park Press Float waving to the reviewing stand as they pass by.
Next we have the Rescue Tavern.
The Rescue Tavern banner carried by the Boy Scouts, Matthew Gallagher, Sonny Owens, Tim and Elise Gallagher. And they've sponsored the Happy Days String Band. That president is Russ Coyne. Irish Mummers.
All right. Let's see what the Irish Mummers have. These dancers are being accompanied by the Happy Days String Band, Neptune, New Jersey. Happy Days String Band from Neptune, New Jersey, with mummers marching ahead. And now we're seeing a few cars that are entered today, and they are from the Disabled American Veterans.
Certainly appreciate your participation. That's important. Chapter 46.
You know, it was last year at this time, Mary Riley, that we were celebrating the success of Operation Desert Storm in Saudi Arabia and Iraq. And we want to take time again to mention our thanks to the veterans of all the wars who have served this country so well.
Thank you, Danny.
Police Department Emerald Society, and it was their pipe band that led the parade this year. So for the first time, they're marching unaccompanied.
These are the marchers from the Jersey City Police Emerald Society.
Just like Jersey City, okay? I'm very proud of you guys. Don't start any fights.
The Jersey City Police Department was, the honor guard had 3 flags, and 2 of them were the Irish flag. The one was the ancient harp flag of Ireland, which is the ceremonial flag, and the other was the tricolor, the orange, white, and green, which is the official flag of Ireland.
Next we have to clown around.
And now we're seeing somebody who's clowning around today's parade. We've got a roller skater passing by us, and these are Clowns Around, part of New Jersey Bell Pioneers from the telephone company. Nice way to get around this parade route.
His contribution to this parade is better than anybody we've ever had.
The Bar Anticipation calls it the parade headquarters, and they sponsored the Brick Township High School Marching Dragon Band. Thomas Lagrada is their band director. First place band in the 1991 Trenton St. Patrick's Day Parade band. First place in the 1991 Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade, and second place in the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade. There are over 50 St. Patrick's Day parades in the United States.
Tom Lagrada, band director.
We like to think of ours as number 1.
Lisa Morgan and Steve Farrell. They placed second in the New York 1991 New York St. Patrick's Day Parade.
That was the Brick Township High School Marching Dragons Band.
The oldest and largest parade in the country is the New York City Parade, but I bet you wouldn't know which one is the second oldest and largest parade.
No, I'm not going to know that, but I will when you tell me.
Savannah, Georgia.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Second oldest St. Patrick's Day
Parade. And also I believe it's the second largest. Here in Belmar, we're the largest and best in the state of New Jersey, and there's over 19 parades in New Jersey.
And
started yesterday.
Working on that national reputation. Here is a group of marchers from the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 12 from Oakhurst, New Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, a group that we're so proud of.
This is a very large contingent and a wonderful condition that always gets the crowd clapping and cheering.
It's about time we recognize them.
Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 12 from Oakhurst. Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 20 from Ocean County. They are part of this marching group. And they get quite a round of applause from the crowd.
It has taken a long time for us to recognize the veterans of the Vietnam War, but I would certainly say that in Belmar here today, we're proud of them.
Now we have the Vietnam vets from Ocean County.
These marchers are Vietnam veterans from Ocean County.
Many of the marching Many of the marchers today are recipients of silver and bronze stars for heroism against hostile forces and presidential unit citations. Represented here are members from all services, including Special Forces and Navy SEALs. They are marching for the POWs, MIAs, homeless veterans, and veterans with AIDS.
Also, the military order.
Well received by the crowd. And this is a reminder from the Vietnam Veterans of America to tell you that it is their belief that there are POWs still missing and unaccounted for in Southeast Asia.
Next we have coming up Chevy Jake Kevin Golding with the kazoo band.
Here is the New Jersey Kazoo Band.
This is a relative new phenomena.
Under awards and special accomplishments, their president, Harry Larkin, said that they had too many to mention.
All right, I don't know if they need to be singled out as whether they're first or second kazoo.
The kazoo band initiated
They are Kazawists.
Joe Bear now down here in
Is that the proper title?
Yes,
Kazawist?
it is.
First Kazawist.
Here comes the rest of the McIntosh and Golding.
Enthusiasm. The Cedar Gate Inn is following them.
Cedar Gate Inn in Lake Township.
The owners there are Tommy and John Smith, waving proudly the American flag and the Irish flag.
Mary Riley, this is going to give me an opportunity to say thank you to Don's Pizza King for helping us with their facilities and utilities for today's telecast of the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. And I'm going to have a chance to, I know I've talked about this for years, but I'm going to have a chance to finally show everyone. I know I've been telling them that there are people wearing green shirts and green coats and green scarves, but there's also green pizza here at the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade. If you get a shot of that, this is a green pizza. Now, I don't usually like to eat or drink on the air, but
how is that
just
now,
to say
Bill?
thanks to Don's Pizza King on 9th Avenue in Belmar.
Thank you very much, Barbara and Don.
Would you like
at
a little of
Don's
this,
Pizza.
Mary?
Delicious.
Beautiful stuff. Green pizza, Don's Pizza King.
Now
Stop
that's
in.
emerald green.
Beautiful. Very tasty.
This is the Crown Beer Float with Hank Cleary and family, Terry Strauss, and Scott Bifocal and family. They're participating this year in Shamrocks Against Muscular Dystrophy. $150,000 has been raised to date. Dignitaries include muscular dystrophy children and their parents, and Jersey Shore's foremost Irish balladeer, Tim Goff.
Bob Lampinen standing by. Let's go down to him.
Thanks a lot. John Cryan, former sheriff in Essex County and former Grand Master of the Newark Parade and a veteran St. Patrick's Day Parade watcher. John, how do you like this one?
This is very big. It's from the beginning to the end. This is going to be the place where the parade is going to be in the years to come.
No doubt about it. Of course, the Newark Parade coming up next week, correct?
Well, the Newark Parade is very big with marchers, but with watchers, it lacks. And up there we have a lot of marchers, but we're very scarce in watchers. And the amount of people that watches this parade is unbelievable.
And you're having a good time, aren't you?
Oh, I'm really enjoying myself.
What's amazing is John knows every one of all the people that are out here watching this parade. The guy is just unbelievable. Let's go back upstairs.
And I know John Cryan, too. He comes from County Roscommon, and he's a fine Irishman. Here we have the Stadium of Seagirt with their float. Francis Leary is the president, Jimmy Weston. And riding on the float, we have Ann Leahy, Jimmy Weston, Dora, Bertie Hanlon, Dottie Rooney, Francis, Flo Higgins and her family, Arlene and Lee,
Frank Leahy.
They brought the family along, as you said. They're enjoying themselves. That's the stadium. Float sponsored by the stadium in Seagirt. We also saw while Bob was on, we saw some marchers from the March of Dimes Walkers. They're having a big event coming up in April. We ask your support.
Here's Divvy Weston smiling at us. And I see Renee Bannerman there in the middle with her Ireland sweater on. This is the Brighton VFW post from Long Branch. The post commander is John Vavrick. The senior vice president is Mike Kennedy, and the junior vice president is Jack Campion. They are the honor guard for the city of Long Branch.
Nice to have them with us. Crowd still remains lining Main Street here in Belmar. Lots of folks out enjoying themselves. This really begins springtime for the Jersey Shore. I know you'll be hearing lots about beach badges and ocean temperature and good weather and things like that. Your crocuses are coming up, and your tulips and daffodils. And spring is here. Winter, though it was mild, is finally behind us. And Belmar's St. Patrick's Day Parade is a way to signal in this time of year for us down here at the Jersey Shore. These again are marchers from the VFW.
Yes, we have the Homedale VFW, post 5918, followed by Asbury Park VFW, post 133. And the American Legion, post number 232. Lenny Sonnenberg.
You're looking down Main Street at the 19th annual Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade at the various VFW marchers that are part of this year's event. Passing the reviewing stand on 9th Avenue. All honoring St. Patrick in the Emerald Isle. Mary Riley, you get a chance to go to Ireland very often?
Well, fortunately, through the business, I get to go to Ireland at least twice a year. And I was there this past January. At that time, they have a big trade fair, and it's an opportunity to see everything that's new and exciting that's being made in Ireland that possibly I can bring back for the store. But this was the first year. The weather was fabulous. It was dry, clear, and bright sunshiny. So we had a very good time.
And if someone wanted to make a first-time visit to Ireland, what time of year would you suggest that they visit?
Oh, I don't think there's really a bad time, but I would probably say spring through fall. I've gone at each season, and the weather is variable, but you can be very, very lucky and have bright sunshine any time of the year. This is the Shore Historical Reenactment Association, the 12th Virginia Cavalry, and the colonel is John Graves.
This is a special moment. Let's watch this. 12th Virginia Cavalry.
You may want to slide out of the way a little bit.
I love it. I love it. Wake those kids up. The parade is going on. The Shore Historical Reenactment Association by the 12th Virginia Cavalry Unit. A rugged bunch of fellas. Way to go, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's more parade, son.
Oh, I bet that frightened the child. This is the Belmar South Belmar Joint Alliance to Prevent Drug and Alcohol Abuse.
Rosemary Warnock.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is an Irish dancing group.
School of Irish Dancing.
The Siri School of Irish Dancing, and she gives the lessons in St. Rose of Lima School in Freehold. It's a new school, and she's doing very well.
And they're just going to pass by. We will not be having a dance from them, but we are going to have somebody dancing down Main Street, and that's a group of clowns that are following the Siri School of Irish Dancers. Here they come. Now, if you want to prevent getting lost in the crowd, you just tie this little leash around your child, and you make sure they're out enjoying the parade, but you don't lose them. It's an interesting little...
Hector Clan and Susie QT Clan.
Are you sure this isn't the Rockettes?
I'd like to thank Roy Zimmer and the rest of the clan for marching in. Hector.
Graceful as ever.
Thank you.
Oh, zoom. Oh. How you doing? Nice, happy
Again,
St. Patrick's Day, okay? We'll see you later.
And happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
This is the Borough of Spring Lake Heights. Mayor Frank Adams. Council members Jack Tully, Arthur Herner, Frank Russo Elisa, Michael Clark, Elwood Malik, and George Booten.
Arthur Herner, Frank Rizzo.
And Spring Lake Mayor is followed by the Spring Lake Heights Elementary School Marching Band.
The band director is Alta
Spring Lake Heights
Kupura.
Elementary School Band. Again, thank you, Mayor Adams. Alpha Burrows director.
Love those marching bands.
Spring Lake Heights.
They're followed by some police cars from the Spring Lake Heights Police Department.
Old Mill Road tonight. Did you let me alone?
You had asked me earlier, Bill, which came first, the Shamrock or the Emerald Isle, and I had gone on to tell you about St. Patrick using the Shamrock to explain the mystery of the Blessed Trinity to the ancient Irish who were trying to understand the Catholic faith. So that dates back to the 4th century, 5th century. So I'd say the Shamrock came first.
All right, let's go down to Bob Lampinen now.
Mrs. Margaret O'Neill is our first Grand Marshal, I should say not first, but Deputy Grand Marshal, and congratulations on that award, first of all.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy and pleased to be here in Belmar today.
And first female president of the Irish Foundation of Monmouth County. I had to read my notes here. I don't have the memory starting to go, but first female president, that's really a great honor, isn't it?
Yes, it was. I was very excited to be chosen as their president and now as Deputy Grand Marshal.
Thank you very
It's
much,
really
gentlemen.
a great pleasure to be here.
Spring Lake
Two pretty
Heights.
big jobs. Enjoying the parade?
Yes, I am. It's the first year I got to see all of the parade. We're usually marching. We have to get out of the line of march. It's very exciting. It was a great pleasure sharing the line of march with Larry Cody, very nice gentleman, and a great honor to be the Deputy Marshal the first time the St. Patrick's banner.
Okay, well, congratulations and enjoy the rest of the parade.
Thank you very much.
And I don't know about you guys upstairs, but I'm having a great time. Let's go back to Bill and Mary.
Color guard.
Thanks a lot, Bob. It looks like everybody's having a good time. And yes, Mary and I are doing just fine up here. So are the kids along the parade route. And so are the marchers. And it sounds like our Deputy Grand Marshal was having a good time. And as she said, she got to see the parade because she was marching in the beginning of the parade this year as Deputy Grand Marshal and got to sit on the reviewing stand and actually watch all the festivities transpire.
She's a lovely Irish brogue, which she's very surprised if you say she has one. She thinks she doesn't have one.
Is that right?
Because she's been in the country over 20 years. She doesn't think she still sounds like she's from Ireland. This is the John Basilone detachment of the Marine Corps League.
They're from Freehold, New Jersey.
Bill Siebel is their commandant. Then the Corporal Philip A. Reynolds detachment, Marine Corps League.
Coming up next is the 3rd New Jersey Volunteer Infantry, commanded by
Well, we've got another authentic reenactment group. You're looking at the 3rd New Jersey Volunteer Infantry.
And they're commanded by Captain Daniels. And they represent...
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. They're with us, making their presence known, as did the Shore Reenactment Group. And they want to keep the parade moving along. They don't march before then. As you can see, they have their bayonets affixed and ready. A couple of lovely ladies marching. There they come with bayonets.
And they represent New Jersey's Irish Regiment.
And here we see the ever-popular rollerblades. This is a group of youngsters who are skating, well, youngsters of all ages apparently, skating as a part of the Belmar Parade. Oh, we're going to have a demonstration here. Let's watch this. Goodness, my goodness.
One more, John. Here it goes.
Nice job. Safe at third. Mary, you're going to go down and do that jump next.
I don't think so, Bill. I think I'm going to stay right up here.
You like it here, huh? Even with a little bit of breeze at your back. Safer than jumping on rollerblades.
Very much supportive of our parade.
Well, it's a new phenomenon. It's very popular, especially along Ocean Avenue. You see lots of people out there getting their exercise. And I hear from people I know who do it that it is just like ice skating. Not so much like roller skating, but like ice skating in terms of the movement.
Well, a group like this, the children that are watching the parade really enjoy it because they would entertain along the whole route of the parade, not just before the reviewing stand. This is the Shore Point Distributors.
This is their float entry into this year's parade.
And on the float this year, they have George Killian, the founder of George Killian Irish Red Beer, the official beer of St. Patrick's Day.
Well, there you go. Thanks for being with us, George.
On the float are employees of Shore Point Distributors.
And we've got another float directly behind them. This should be the, I can't see it from here, but it's a float. And it looks like we've got a wedding going on.
This is Piera and Friends. And this float is sponsored by local merchants. And they're telling you here that they can create the wedding of your dreams. And it's a beautiful float, the bride and groom.
All right, and their entourage. Apparently they've got a full wedding party there.
It's sponsored by Pierre's Boutique, P & Cone's Bakery in Bradley Beach, Bellows Jewelers, Manasquan Florists, and A&B Cleaners in Belmar. And these merchants together can give you the wedding of your dreams.
That's what we need, is a wedding at the St. Patrick's Day Parade. See if we can work that up for next year. Very attractive. Nice float. Nice looking people.
I think that's beautiful when the local merchants can contribute to a parade and make it fun and do such a beautiful job.
I don't know if there's any truth to the rumor that her ex-boyfriend is green with envy.
This is the Vintage Automobile Club of Ocean County.
Oh, this is a real treat. I guess I get to show my ignorance about cars. Got a few Mustangs there, I see. Vintage cars of Ocean County. I'm not going to guess years. I can just barely tell colors anymore. There's a pretty green one and a blue one and some red ones.
That's a full-time hobby for these people, and they enjoy it. They enjoy showing their antique.
And you know, it's wonderful to see. I mean, throughout the area you go and you visit these places, there's some kids enjoying the parade.
That little shirt there says Irish kids are wonderful, beautiful, intelligent, and I think the bottom one says we don't exaggerate.
And modest too.
Yes, and modest too. Humility is one of the greatest assets of the Irish people.
As I was saying about these vintage cars, they're great to see, and they are a real crowd pleaser. You put them in malls, parking lots, little shopping centers, and things like that, and everybody likes to take a look at them. And we're privileged to have them with us from the Ocean County Vintage Automobile Club in this year's parade.
The Vintage Automobile Club.
And I'm starting to see vintage cars, Mary Riley, that I used to drive. So I don't know It's as whether I'm getting older or they're just decreasing the age to make a car a vintage automobile. But I used to drive some of these things.
Oh, and the other humbling experience is children reminding you that could you possibly have been alive when those cars were on the road?
That's a Chrysler Imperial. Bob Lampinen standing by. Let's go down to him now.
Each year I get a kick out of interviewing the Queen. It's a highlight for me, and I'm this year Susan Welsh, a very lovely Queen. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob.
How was the trip down the road?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. A little chilly, but we stuck to it.
The pageant was held at Mike Doolan's. Tell us about that. How did you actually become the Queen?
Well, it was held last Friday night, and there was a sports attire competition and an evening gown, and we were asked a question and had to answer as well as possible. So.
And you're a junior at Rutgers. What are you studying?
I'm a combination major of American Frontier History and Native American History.
All right. Well, you've made history here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back upstairs to Bill and Mary.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Thank you that was our Queen, Susan Welsh, for the 1992 parade. Studying American history. I guess a real fan of the old Dances with Wolves. Maybe she can do a movie, Dances with Bob.
She is poised and answered the questions beautifully last Friday night. And it was, as she said, it's a combination of brains and beauty to be the Queen of the Belmar St. Patrick's Day Parade.
I guess this guy didn't like the reenactment groups firing their weapons off, as we continue to see some of the vintage automobiles from the Ocean County Vintage Automobile Club. Got a vintage poodle skirt there. Did you ever wear a poodle skirt, Mary Riley?
I didn't. I feel very badly about that, but I
neither
did wear
I.
saddle
I feel
shoes.
bad.
I did wear saddle shoes. That was our uniform shoe for high school.
Now, see, these cars look old to me. Now, that's an old car. When I see a 65 Mustang up there, I don't feel like it should be vintage yet. Look at this. Now, we've got some of our camera people out in the street. We've got the cars going away. So the Dalmatian up there, and this is a famous trolley that passes through the Monmouth County area.
It's a real highlight in Spring Lake. We have daily trolley rides, and we see the people lining up, and it's a short 20-minute drive. It takes you around all the
That's great.
shore points, and everyone seems to enjoy it.
Nice means of public transportation. We've got another float coming up, approaching us. This should be sponsored by the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. They're going to be joined by a motorcycle group. This is a group of cyclists and the Multiple Sclerosis Society float that is reminding everyone that the Super Cities Walk is coming up in early April to benefit the Multiple Sclerosis Society. You can find out from your local chapters how you can walk a few miles to help stamp out this disease.
We certainly thank you for all the good things you've done. People in our area.
We've got pretzels and pizza and pythons.
That's right. And you know, of course, the legend of St. Patrick chasing the snakes
out of Ireland. Well, they've come to Belmar. Good for you, Mary.
There's a pause in the parade now before a new marching group, and that would be the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh of the Jersey Shore. This is a newly formed organization marching for the first time, with its president, George McCormick, and the Vice President, Tim Stewart, James Callahan, Jack Maloney, Larry Kelly, John Brady, Charles McFadden, and Bill Farquhar. The marches will range from 100 to 125. And they're led off by the Essex Shillelagh Pipers and Drums. Their pipe major is Bill McAvoy. Their drum major is John Sweeney. The pipe sergeant is Bill Cotter. Drum sergeant Sean O'Keefe. And they are the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh of West Orange, and their president is Mike Teelan. Vice President Noel O'Keefe. Treasurer Frank Gately. Financial Secretary Tom Cunningham. So you're seeing the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh Pipers and Drums.
Of West Belmar and Oak Ridge and Belmar. West Orange, Belmar, and Oak Ridge, New Jersey.
That's right. And it would be the Jersey Shore. We're going to encompass all the towns.
Well, let's hear it, fellas.
Color guard John Brady and John Galvin. Holding the banner, John Maloney and Joe Tansey. Pipe major Bill McAvoy. Drum major John Sweeney. Pipe sergeant Billy Cotter. Drum sergeant Gene O'Keefe. Drum manager Pascal Pignatelli.
With his group.
George McCormick has actually stepped down from the reviewing stand where he was announcing the parade so that he could march at the head of his newly organized Friendly Sons of Shillelagh of the Jersey Shore. And Jerry Lynch has taken over at the microphone while George is marching. There behind him is Jack Baloney.
That group of pipe and the pipe and drum band there. Mary, tell us a little bit about the bagpipes. There is some controversy whether this is an Irish or a Scottish instrument.
Well, actually, the bagpipes go back to ancient Egypt, and where the Irish and the Scotch always did have bagpipes. There's my husband, Jim Riley, excuse myself, marching also with the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh of the Jersey Shore. So many people in this parade today, if you've been watching closely, have marched 2 and 3 times. So that would mean you would march the mile and a half.
Well, it's a very community...
And then get on a bus or in a car and go back to the line of march and do the same thing again. I mean, that's tremendous enthusiasm and spirit.
A very community active group of people. And everybody wants to be represented with their organization, and many of them belong to many different organizations.
That's right. They wear many hats.
There's a look down Main Street. As you see, there's plenty more parade to come. The crowd is still with us in force down Main Street. We're looking south on Main Street from our position on 9th Avenue, south towards Lake Como. More of the parade is coming. Mary, you were telling us about the bagpipes.
Well, the bagpipes then have become what we call a Celtic tradition, which would be Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. And there was a law passed in Ireland that you could not play a wind instrument standing up, because what the ancient Irish were doing were playing these pipes before battle and frightening the English before the battle even began. So
Rules of war.
So they made this law that they could not play standing. So very often now in Ireland you will see the Irish playing what's called a Julian pipe. And they would be seated playing it, and it's a movement of their elbows. There's a reed, but it's different than the bagpipes we see in the parade today, which I would have to say would probably be thought of as more Scottish than Irish.
But not today. It's an Irish instrument for our purposes here at the Belmar Parade. We've got another marching band from Asbury Park.
The Asbury Park School District Marching Band, and their major is Thomas Smith. This is the pride of the Jersey Shore, the Marching Blue Bishops.